Good afternoon, good morning, good day, VC. I hope you're all well. Welcome back to the channel. Here we are for 10 African records that are worth a listen. So, what's in the background spinning is not part of the 10, but it's something I picked up just last year called African Brothers International from Ghana. It is quite crackly, as you'd expect, so I'm hoping that you're not just hearing crackle in the background too much and you can hear the music, but this is a fantastic record that I didn't know, and I got it for really cheap. I could not leave it behind with that cover, so that's fantastic. So anyway, we've got 10 records. I've tried to pick a record from different parts of Africa as much as I could do. I've also left out some big names, specifically the 4-letter name that starts with F. You'll know who I'm talking about, just to keep it a bit more kind of interesting. But yeah, we'll see how we go. I've tried to get a couple of different styles. The other thing to note is, just because I couldn't decide, I ended up picking way too many. I had to put a bunch back. I've left out anything from North Africa, so anything from Morocco or Algeria or Egypt, I'm going to bundle into a later video. So this is kind of like from there down sort of thing. But yeah, let's get stuck into it. These aren't in any particular order, they're just 10 records that I really like and I enjoy, and I think are worth checking out if you can find them. And a lot of these are reissues, so they all should be readily available. Nothing is impossibly rare or anything like that, but they're just really good listens. This is something I picked up super cheap years ago and I play it often, Hasabè, which is a Mississippi reissue from 2012. So Hasabè translates to my idea, and this is just a compilation of some of the Ethiopic stuff, like some of the later stuff that isn't on any of the other compilations. So probably definitely some of the less known stuff, but still super cool, super groovy. Yeah, fantastic. So I think this is still really cheap. I think this was like under $10 I got this for. So yeah, if you don't know much about African music or even Ethiopian music, you need to check out the Ethiopic series. Absolutely kind of legendary series of music documenting a lot of music out of Ethiopia. I thought I'd stick with Ethiopia because I could not show this record. It would be, you know, if I had a emergency at my house and I had to pull out some records. I mean that's not true because I probably would be able to. This is so easy to get. I could just rebuy it. But in terms of like top tier African records, for me this is almost like a perfect record. This is Hailu Mergia. Originally came out in 1977 on the Kaifa label. Yeah, so this is just gorgeous. Beautiful, melancholic, laid back, groovy. I mean, just look at that cover. If you don't know this, I'm sure lots of you know this record, or anyone that's watched the channel for more than a few years. I've probably shown this a handful of times, but it's really, for me, like top tier. Absolutely love it. Next one is a record that I picked up 2 years ago now, and I showed it in like a Vinyl Finds video, and it is also Mississippi Records. This is Celestine Ukwu and his Philosophers National. No Condition is Permanent. And this is a compilation of his stuff from the 70s. And so, like, what's kind of unique about this is, prior to this, a lot of the music that he did was associated with high life, which I don't really dig so much, but this is like almost like a really sort of like slowed down version of high life, and it's almost like really like spiritual or like just like slow and lumbering. It kind of reminds me of some of the stuff off like Sunrise Languidity, but you know, from Nigeria. Not nowhere near like as amazing as that, but the vibe of it is just long songs that slow, like build up. Hopefully when I put the audio clip in, you'll get what I mean. But just like almost like spiritual. It's really beautiful, and it really took me. So amazing compilation from Mississippi. I picked this up while I was there at the store, Mississippi Records, when I was in Portland a couple of years ago. Fantastic. Okay, this is a classic. Iba Taylor is from Ghana. This is a Stone Cold classic, isn't it? Surely, this is a Mr. Bongo reissue from 2013. I mean, originals would be God knows how much money. This is my third video filming of the day, so I might be sounding a little bit less descriptive than normal. It's really hot here today, and it's 3:35 p.m, so I'm feeling a little bit flat, but the music will get us through. This is something I pulled out because I picked this up a few years ago too, and I think it's really unique and interesting. This is recorded from Somalia. And what's interesting is Somalia was like a country that converted to Islam quite early. I think lots of countries around Somalia are Islamic. So this is African music, but it comes from... I'm just looking at the map here, actually. We've got Sudan, Somalia, Ethiopia. Oh, interesting, and Kenya. Anyway... What was I going to say? I'm getting distracted. It sounds very Islamic or Islamic folk. It's like almost like field recordings from a city in Somalia, but it definitely is very unusual in terms of it's almost like Islamic folk music, but recorded in Africa. So I thought that's why that would be quite an interesting one to show. No Afrobeat on this record. I would say this is an African record, but it's definitely not strictly a full African record. This is Dennis Mpunga and Paul K. Criolla, and it's a compilation of things from 80 to 84, so we're jumping forward in time a little bit here. Dennis Mpunga is from the Congo, And it really is a mixture of African music mixed with experimental electronic music, dance grooves. It is absolutely fantastic. It sounds so ahead of its time and so modern. It could be something that I heard this year, to be honest. I think this is a really fantastic album, and compiled by the wonderful Music from Memory label. This is a really special record I picked up last year from the same seller that had what I'm playing in the background, and this is one that I did know. This is the TP Orchestre Poly-Rythmo de Cotonou, Benin. So there's a lot of fantastic African music from Benin. I've listened to the compilation Analog Africa called Legends of Benin, which I love. I don't have the record. I don't feel like I need it. But yeah, to get one of these was really, really cool. From 1977, just like out of the world guitar playing. There's like some really cool harmonics going on. You can hear it in the clip. Just killer grooves. I really, really like this record. There we go. So what have we got so far? We've had Benin, Congo, Somalia, Ghana, Nigeria, Ethiopia. We will go to South Africa. I've got 2 records from South Africa. Now, if you are missing a bit of Fela Kuti and some Afrobeat, this is something that you should check out. If you don't want to pay money for Fela Kuti records, I mean, if you don't want to buy the reissues, that is, this is a record that is at that level. You know, I think this is fantastic. This is Masekela introducing Hedzoleh Soundz. So as far as I'm aware, Hedzoleh Soundz are their own group, but Masekela kind of put his name to it because by 1973 he was becoming a bit more of a household name, especially in the UK. So you can actually check out their they've got an album. I'll put the album cover here. That's really, really cool too, but this is absolutely fantastic. It is recorded in Lagos in Nigeria, but the band are South African. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And look at that cover too. I just think this is so timeless. Like the design of that looks like, you know, it could have come out, you know, now basically. I was after a copy of that for many years, and then I was digging at a record fair, and there was a seller had 3 of them in a bin. And I was like, okay, well that's how that works then. Not like it's not a rare record or anything like that, but just one that I personally have not seen very often at all, especially in this part of the world. All right, second to last one. This record just reminds me of early vinyl community days. I bought this record because everybody was raving about it, and it was definitely a mind blower for me. It was kind of like way out of my scope of knowledge or music or anything like that. It was it's spiritual jazz from South Africa, and it was like, you know, I'd never heard of people like Dollar Brand before, any stuff like that. So this was amazing when I first heard it. It came out in 1974, but this reissue is from 2011. Batsumi on the wonderful Matsui music. This is just an absolutely deep spiritual monster of a jazz record. yeah, I love this. This is a 10 out of 10 record for me. Check out the track on side 2 here, Itu Melang. Yeah, it looks like, it sounds like the cover looks, is what I'll say. Okay, here we are at the last one. We couldn't talk about African music without mentioning Mali, and without mentioning the wonderful, wonderful Ali Farka Touré. I'm showing this because I picked this up a couple of years ago and I play it all the time. This is The Source. It is a wonderful, wonderful record that originally came out in 1992. And this is a 2017 reissue on World Circuit. This is, it's very hard to describe. It's quite diverse, but it's also very grounded. It just has that really sort of instantly recognizable Ali Farka Touré tone and feel to it. This comes with this wonderful booklet here talking about each piece of music. But this is really his ode to his home and the source of music and the power of his music. At this point, he had been touring a lot around the world, and he wanted to make something quite focused on home. I should read this, actually. I've looked through this quickly, but I really should read about every song, because this is such a fantastic little book. Sorry, I'm distracting myself. Yeah, please check this one out. It's available to the stream and stuff like that. There's many Ali Farka Touré records I would like to get. I just haven't focused on them yet. This is definitely a really good, you know, if I was kind of picking, I'd be happy with just this realistically, because it covers a lot of ground. Yeah, wonderful. So there we go. That was 10 African records. I did try and pick different parts of Africa. Please stay tuned for the next one. And I'm going to be covering North Africa and Turkish music in kind of a group. And then we'll see what goes after that. Who knows? Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for more. Stay safe, stay well. See you all soon.